Hello and welcome to my tutorial on C++. Today we are going to be learning C++, the basics. This is an online course for free that I have uploaded. Step by step I will show you how to create programs in C++. So as you can see, I am using an IDE called Visual Studio Code. There are multiple IDEs out there that you can use. IDE is basically something where we can write our code and it will execute it from there. We are using VS Code because it's free and very usable and accessible to and fun to use. But you can use other stuff like PyCharm, code blocks, dev C++. I personally like VS Code because of it's free and stuff. So hopefully you have it set up by now. If you don't have it set up, let me know in the comments and I will create how to set up C++ in VS Code. So let us begin. First of all, we need a file. This file I've already created, but I will show you how to create a file again. You press this icon and then you write my file. Now the name doesn't actually matter, it can be anything. To know if it's a C++, you can, to make sure that the IDE notes is C++, all you have to do is put a dot C and write plus plus, or you can do what I do, write CPP. It has the same result. See, now it's myfile.cpp. First of all, what we need to do is follow along. Now, first of all, I included hashtag include string. Now, the hash include, which is it is used to access libraries in C++. This has the iostream has lots of code inside it, and include hash include make sure to include that library. Now let me show you how it works completely. Now as you can see that I've already written all of this code. Let me first show you how it works. By the way, the shortcut key is Ctrl Alt N to print out this. You want to print out just run code, not the C, C++, or debug code. Remember that. Now we have written hello world here. Now let me explain how this works. Hopefully all of you can see better now. So first of all, what we did is use include iostream. Now iostream means this is a library. In this there is a lot of code inside this iostream. Now because of this code we can use the cout function. If we were to remove this, like if I were to comment this out, like comment is where nothing would work. See, cout won't work without the iostream, because in this there is code that makes this run. Okay, now what is using namespace std? Now first of all, yes, there are multiple include that we will be using libraries like cmath, string, sfriend. All of these we'll be using in the future. I will show you how. There are multiple libraries. I can't show you all of them obviously, but there are so many. Now the second line, you can see we are using namespace std. Now what is std here? Well, this line of code makes it easier for you to write. If you include this thing, which is if you include this in the header, by the way, everything which is above the int main function is called an header. This is where we write our include using namespace and our functions. Now the int main is basically the body. It specifies that it's a body, and in this whatever we write gets executed. Okay, now using namespace std, we see std. What does std mean? Well, this code is used so we don't have to write std semicolon semicolon twice. Let me show you. If you were to remove this and write, then this cout function would not work. We would need to write std semicolon semicolon to make it work. Now this was the old way of writing C++ code. People used to write like this all the time. It was considered mandatory to write std dot dot, but over the years when you have multiple couts, you will have multiple couts, so it will be really hard for you to write std dot dot with every one of them, cin and couts. So for this reason we using namespace std. Now what does int mean like? Int is basically way of telling us that it's an integer. It doesn't have to be integer. It is used to describe this function. This is a function because everything in C++ is a function which is followed by this parenthesis. So basically if I were to go here, I would say void just to specify the thing. Now I would make a function name like my name, and this will be a variable, but if I put parenthesis, it becomes a function. Okay, and then inside, after we write main, we write curly braces. Now curly brackets show that everything shows the body of the code, meaning that everything inside the curly braces get executed. And in this we left it empty. That is because we can write anything we want in this body tag. We can write strings, integers, operators, anything like that. There are no limitations. To make sure there are no limitations, we have to leave it empty. Now if you are using a variable in C++, you will need to specify it beforehand, before using it. A variable is basically a word which can contain some sort of code or operations. Let me show you. If you want to create a number, 0 or 5 or 10, by the way, if you want to make a comment in C++ code, all you have to do is do double slash and write whatever you want. And if I run this, it won't get executed. You can see. You can also clear the terminal using cls. Now this is how we write a comment, but as soon as we enter a new line, then then we remove the comment. So what if we want multi-line comments? What would we do? Well, there are multiple ways we can do this. If you go shift here, let me just remove this real quick. If we go shift here, and we go control and slash, that works, and it gives a comment. So basically what we did control plus slash. We did control slash to get this comment after selecting it all through. But we don't want it. What if we still want the comment, still want our multi-line comment, but we don't want to make slashes everywhere like that? What we can do is use a multi-line comment like a slash and a star, and where we want to end the comment, we just have to put star and slash, and it becomes a comment. See, it becomes a comment. This whole function stuff will not run in C++. This is what a comment is. You can use it to understand your code for later. You can write, if you want to know what include as streamer, you can just write a comment saying, it is used to include values. C++, you can write word using namespaces, you can write what main function is, you can write what cout is. Now, but if you want to talk about variables, a variable is something that we create which can have any value that we want, that we initialize it by. Now, if you want to select a number, let's say a number which is like 23, what will we use? We will use an int. Int is used for an integer. Now we can specify the name here. We can make it number, number, just num or n or a or any variable you want. Make sure that it doesn't start with a number, or make sure it doesn't have a space between it. Yeah, that doesn't work. Want a space? Use shift backslash. This is how you put a space if you want a space, but you can also add a dash, also add a slash and everything you want to a variable. Now I will use, for this tutorial I will use an a. Now let's see what kind of error we get. We are getting an expected semicolon. Now in C++ you always want to include a semicolon after a line, so it knows that this is done. Okay, it's done. It doesn't affect the code beneath it. Good. Now what we want to do is make sure that this runs. Now we can initialize it with a value of 23, and we want to make print out 23. We could just write 23. Now if you're using a number, you can just write the number. You don't need inverted commas, single or double. Remember, C++ is a case sensitive language, so cout doesn't work. Cout works. Not if you make any of these capital, it won't work, right? Remember that. Now important to know that all of the wording inside of C++ is in lowercase, so you don't have to worry about uppercase letters unless you're making a variable. Now if you just go and print out a, what will happen? Now it recognizes that a is a variable. See, it recognizes it has the value number 23, so it will run 23. As you can see, you can also delete the code through here is by printing this empty dump kill terminal, and none of the code gets saved. None of the code, as in none of the terminal code gets saved. The code gets saved. To save the code, you have to press Ctrl S, or you can go to File and put on auto save, meaning whatever you write will be saved automatically, so you don't have to press Ctrl S over and over again. So this is just the basics of C++ that I have covered today, just one variable, and there are other stuff that we will carry in the next lesson, like string, float, boolean, and there are other data types. I think there's enough data types. In the next lesson we'll talk about these data types, and we'll also take input from the user and output input from the user. So this is just the basic we covered to it. In the next lesson we will cover the string, the float, and the boolean variables, and we will get the input from the user. Now let us know if you have any questions in the comments, and make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and follow for more.